The European Commission's payments package took a big step forward in April when the European Parliament passed its report to the Council of Ministers. Now, European finance ministers are about to discuss the much needed proposals, particularly the multilateral interchange fee. So what are MIFs as they are called? I caught up with EuroCommerce payments expert Ruth Milligan to find out more.
When I talked with Christian Verschuren, the Director General of EuroCommerce, he talked about a proposal on card fees currently being discussed at the European Council. Can you tell me exactly what these so-called interchange fees are?
Yes, so an interchange fee is a payment which goes from the bank of the retailer to the bank of the cardholder, so this is the consumer. And this fee is deducted from the amount of money that the retailer receives for any particular purchase. So therefore the merchant will receive somewhat less than the purchase price of any good or service that is bought using a card. It is a fee which is actually established by the card schemes and the banks together, and it is non-negotiable by the merchant.
So what would the interchange fee regulation do to correct the situation?
Well, the interchange fee regulation would set a maximum cap on these fees at EU level, which would apply to all transactions, whether they take place within one member state or across from one member state to another. And this would limit the level of these fees for card payments across Europe and would therefore open up the market to more competition.
And why is there a difference between debit and credit card caps?
Well, a debit card transaction, generally the amount of money comes straight out of the consumer's account. But in a credit card transaction, there's obviously an element of credit which is furnished by the bank. And therefore, for credit transactions, there's more risk for the bank. And there is also an element of interest which is given to the consumer. So the costs are high, and therefore there are different level of fees are appropriate.
Why do we need regulation at the European level?
We need regulation at EU level because the situation in different member states is very diverse. Some member states still have their own national debit card systems mainly, which are very efficient and carry very low fees. But in other member states, national debit schemes have disappeared, and therefore fee levels can be extremely high. Also for credit cards, there are often commercial cards which are used, and these can carry very, very high levels. And we want these commercial cards, as well as consumer cards, to be capped.
But haven't I read that these proposals will lead to additional charges on my account?
Well, this is not actually the case, because the interchange fee system as it currently operates is a hidden fee which includes a great deal actually of wastage. The consumer is paying for reward systems and for free gifts, and all consumers pay for these whether or not they use credit cards. Therefore, all consumers are subsidizing people who use cards which carry high MIFs. And if you get rid of this wastage and reduce the cost of all systems, it should be better for everybody. In addition, the banks will actually be able to carry out more transactions because small retailers will start accepting credit cards where they do not do so at the moment, and therefore the market share will increase for electronic transactions.
The regulation is not yet final. Is that correct?
That's correct. It has gone through its first reading, so-called first reading, in the European Parliament, and it is now going to be discussed amongst all the member states in the European Council. They will look at all the proposals made by the Commission and also the changes which the European Parliament suggested, and they will reach a decision. It then will have to go back to the European Parliament. So we've got a little way to go yet before it's final.
But it's going in the right direction.
It's definitely going in the right direction, and we are extremely hopeful for a great outcome for this legislation.
Ruth, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.